Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this, this is a journey with an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades, we do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video we're going to be looking at MMTLP and the latest developments. We're also going to be looking at a new proposed rule change from the SEC, and we're also going to be looking at NLST Netlist with regard to some upcoming catalysts, very important. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the markets today. So I'm sure you're all aware by now that the Fed has raised interest rates, so it's gone up by 0.25% today, and the Fed's target is inflation of around about 2%, and there was suggestions or expectations that this might not happen, but certainly the Fed have said that inflation remains elevated and the central bank remains highly attentive to inflation risk. So on a positive note, I think they are kind of saying that hopefully this is near the end of the peak, and we're currently, in terms of the interest rates, we're at the highest since around about October 2007. So the market has not overall reacted positively. We can see banking sector here is still heavily hit. Technology is doing a little bit better. Semiconductors, especially with the AI positive impact on the market, that's doing very well, especially Nvidia. But energy sector and many other sectors are down today. So before we look at the potential SEC rule change, shout out here to Mark Raid, who's posted something very interesting with regard to MMTLP and a billboard here. So let's have a look at the post. It states here, over 12,000 vehicles a day past this sign. It will run till it's settled, displayed 8 times every minute all day, and full time from 5:30 till 8:30 a.m. So we have the hashtag MMTLP, as well as that the website letittrade.com. So special thanks to Mark for sharing that. And the other thing I'd like to share with you is the trend that's currently going around with regard to the We Are the Faces of MMTLP. So shout out here to the MMTLP family, who are basically sharing in response to this trend. So special thanks to everyone. We are not just faceless people, we are there out real people. So we have people from the military, we have retired, we have family members, we have people in the medical sector, we have people here in obviously the fire area, and all areas of the community, hardworking families, and people who have lost huge amounts of their investments. So shout out there to the MMTLP family. What I'd now like to share with you is a meeting held today by the SEC. So this was an open meeting, March 22nd, 2023. So let's have a look at the agenda on this meeting. So they're looking at the Sunshine Act notice. They're also looking at Sunshine Act notice changes. And there is also a fact sheet looking at the proposed changes. So what I'd like to focus on here is what in particular interested me with regard to the open meeting agenda, and I've highlighted here point number 2. It looks like they have stated here there is a proposal to rescind Form 19B Part 4 Section E and require the information currently contained in Form 19B 4 Section E instead to be publicly posted on the listing self-regulatory organization's website. So self-regulatory organization, we know who that is. Obviously FINRA are self-regulatory, and remove the requirement in Form 19B Section 4 for a manual signature and the related manual signature retention requirement. So this is very interesting. Looks like in my opinion, the SEC are quietly trying to make amends for a huge error, a huge problem in the market. So let's have a look at their fact sheet, and it states here at the bottom, I've highlighted, so the headline here, proposed updates to Exchange Act electronic submission requirements. So it's saying self-regulatory organizations would obviously apply to be National Securities Exchange and National Securities Associations to file forms on EDGAR Form 1, Form 1N, Form 15A and Form CA1, and it also goes on to say they would rescind Form 19B remove the manual signature requirement. So in terms of my opinion, in terms of what this means, I think what the SEC now are proposing is, again, potentially avoiding any future illegal ticker to be traded. We know that's what happened with MMTLP. We know that FINRA are being very vague in terms of the history and how it happened. We do know the company have publicly stated they were not behind this, and the FINRA have not been clear in terms of transparent how and who the brokers behind it were, but it looks like certainly now the SEC are trying to change this. What I'd now like to do is provide an update for NLST, also known as Netlist. It's a stock that has been featured on a number of occasions on the channel. So if we have a look at the chart here for Netlist, we can see here over the previous 6 months, the stock has been doing exceptionally well. At one point it was trading around about the $1 mark. If you look at time of editing today, it's just crossed over the $4 mark. So over the previous months, it is up in excess of 87%. Still not obviously at the high of the $9 that we saw earlier, but certainly moving in the right direction. So let's have a look at where the key upcoming catalysts. We can see here in the summary, Netlist is rapidly approaching the trial with Samsung. So that, in my opinion, is the current catalyst driving the stock forward right now. And over the previous 3 months, we're looking at a 300% increase in the share price. And obviously Netlist is still in what may be the largest patent infringement case in history, and that one will be with Google. So in terms of the second part of the article here, we can see third paragraph down, it's currently in lawsuits with Google. We know about Samsung, we know about, and also Micron. So obviously the most significant case being Google. So that is the one that is could be the game changer. But right now, the one that's driving the stock forward is the case with regard to Samsung. So in terms of the court filings here, we can say obviously there is a case overseen by Judge Gilstrap, who has overseen 25% of the nation's patent litigation cases. So this judge will certainly know what is going on. So shout out here to Stoked, STOKD, for who's compiled an excellent summary of all the key cases. So let's have a look at this on the big screen. So I'm going to let you take a screenshot or have a quick look of this. And I think there's huge amount of detail here with cases, dates, obviously agreements and settlements. We know that happened with SK Hynix. So special thanks and shout out to STOKD for that. And now let's have a look at the rest of the article. So let's now get confirmation of the key dates. So if we see here, it's awaiting Gilstrap's ruling on all pending motions anytime this week or the pre-trial conference. We will allow orals on summary judgments, but if we have a look at the trial date there, according to Stoke D, it's April the 17th, 2023. So fast approaching that. And the other thing I'd like to now share with you is in terms of the impending catalyst. We're looking at on average 5,000 to 6,000 infringement lawsuits normally filed in a year, and we're looking at 95 to 97% end in a settlement. So again, that is the expectation that I believe may well happen with Netlist, and if there is a settlement, potentially it could be huge. We know for a fact that Samsung and Netlist have had settlement discussions, so obviously there's settlement discussion highlighted there with some of it blanked out, and it can be interpreted that the company has at least been in settlement discussions while in stage with where many companies do settle. And the other thing I'd like to share with you in terms of Netlist is the financials. So let's have a look at the financials. So net cash in the business for 2022 in terms of the latest financial results, we're looking at a net loss of $33.4 million. Net loss, non-cash adjustments, net loss $4.2 million. So we do know revenue is increasing, but obviously the cost of litigation and the cost of lawsuits is high. But on a positive note at the bottom, the company still does have $25 million in cash approximately, so no concerns for the short term. And if we have a look at the actual legal cost here from 2014 all the way to 2022. It has cost the company just in excess of $73.1 million. So obviously legal cases are not cheap. And finally, let's have a look at the risks. So there is also risk in investing in Netlist. So we know it went up from $9 and then it went all the way down close to $1, and now we know it's going up from the $1 to just touching $4 right now. So it is a high risk stock, but with high risk stocks also comes high reward. And then finally, at the bottom conclusion, it's been an incredible rise. We're currently seeing a good positive bullish phase for Netlist. So for congratulations to everybody who is still held. Hopefully we get good news. Hopefully we get a settlement. And I also think the news with regard to Samsung could have huge positive repercussions also for the Google case. But again, trade with care, as it can easily go up, just as it has also gone down. So one of those that you certainly need to trade with care. So finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.